Hi, guys. Listen, I've been asked some questions here lately about how this virus will affect our real estate market. And I can tell you there's no doubt the winds of change is right up on us. I mean, we've had some things happen in the last month that none of us ever planned for. And but home sales in some fashion is going to continue. We have people with job transfers and military relocations and people moving in from other areas. It's constant turnover of homes in the Charleston Tri-County area, and we got some record interest rates too. That's going to still attract some buyers. There's always somebody that's looking for a home. But we will be changing the way we do business. I'm sure about that. And the basics is still going to be there, but there's going to be some procedural complications as we go through this. We don't know exactly what we're getting into. And there's also going to be a need for safety steps. And I see things like mortgage companies and lenders. The rates are fluctuating up and down a lot. Refis, there's so many of them. They're slowing the lenders down a little bit, and some sellers are even hesitant to let the appraiser into the home, and some appraisers are reluctant to go in there as well. So. People are working from home. That slows things down, and it's harder for some buyers to qualify. Lenders are really scrutinizing the buyer's employment closer than ever, and looking at their credit scores and their debt load. That's a big thing. Continuity of income is a new buzzword with the mortgage lenders. And mortgages is going to take longer to complete, but won't likely fall through. Just plan on additional time in the contracts. Listings, I think the seller and the listing agent, they're going to have some little agreements that they're going to have to come to. There's going to be more and better pictures with focus on walkthrough videos and virtual tours. There's actually going to be houses bought virtually and with the buyer never visiting the house prior to the closing. And there's going to be a stronger emphasis on showing instructions, especially in occupied homes. There might be a provision station set up at the door with wipes, hand sanitizers, gloves, and even some of those little blue booties, painter's booties. Might be a sign at the door with a request to take your shoes off. Calls in advance to the buyer agent from the listing agent to make sure the customer or client requesting to know if they're pre-approved. The instruction, only buyer or agent, no friends, family, etc. To limit the exposure of people in their houses. So there may be all kinds of things like it come up. Buyer agents, I see buyer agents not just running out showing homes to strangers anymore. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. And they're going to require the buyers to get pre-approved credit check and income verifications, and they're going to require a buyer agency agreement. They're going to want to know who they're working with, and helping their buyers to better screen the homes online through virtual tours, pictures, and things like that, and the walkthrough videos. To try to narrow the search down, maybe to just the top 3 when they go out and show. Ones that you would buy, not right now you can do cuts online, and you're actually viewing the homes. You can view hundreds of homes online and cut out the ones that you wouldn't buy anyway. And I don't see agents showing 15 to 20 houses to people thinking about moving. I've sold 3 homes recently where the buyers never visited home. We did the showings with FaceTime, and they walked through the house, one with the owner's son, and the other 2 with me doing the FaceTime with them. And they bought the homes, and all 3 buyers were totally satisfied with the house when they finally come in to see it. And so I see a lot of that happen. This is the new generation of people. They do things different. I'm kind of old generation. I would Chick-fil-A, I would always go to the checkout and I'd always pay cash, and I never would use their app. Well, that changed last week. I got their app now. I ordered on the way there, and I used credit card, and I picked up my food. And do you think I'll ever go back? I'll never go back to the old way. That's just how it goes nowadays. I see buyer agents pre-planning the showings, meeting the client at the home, not letting them ride with them, and they're going to treat everybody the same. They're just not going to take those chances. They're going to take safety precautions with the buyers. When the agent arrives, he's going to use wipes, and as he's going to wipe off the lockbox, wipe off the key and the doorknob as he unlocks the home. He's going to hand clean wipes to the buyers. He's going to request they remove their shoes or provide booties. And they might suggest if children have to be there, one parent remain in the car while the other one looks at the home and they swap off. That's to limit exposure for all. The sellers, the buyers, and everybody, the children as well. And buyer to agent is going to wipe the locks and the doorknobs and the light switches off upon departure. No restroom use in the house. That's going to be a no-no in this kind of market with this virus going around. I see contracts, a lot of things happening on contracts. We're going to have some new legal addendums for no-fault extension of the contract because of delays from, things like the county, mortgage company, the people working at home, processing, things like that. We're going to have some new addendums. I see a longer contract time to close for the same reasons, inspections. We have two different types of inspections. We have a standard repair procedure, and then we have due diligence. But I see a strong shift over to the due diligence clause. And due diligence means that the buyer gets a certain number of days to do any inspection they want to do, and they can walk for any reason. But there's a termination fee. And in the past, we haven't been putting a lot of dollars in that termination fee, but I think the sellers are going to require it now, simply because there may be extra days on there. And if the buyer's going to walk, the seller's been damaged, they've been off the market for a period of time, and they're going to want that termination fee. There's going to be other changes in the contracts, and I'm not sure I see more contracts being done on DocuSign and .loop electronically, and that, again, limits exposure. So, and I see the offers being presented online as well. The listing agent's not going to go to the house every time he gets an offer. Folks, closings. Let's talk about closings a little bit. I've heard some different things going on with attorneys. Now, every attorney is going to do it different, but I've heard things like agents, they're going to have to review the docs ahead of time, and they're not invited to attend anymore. The buyers and sellers are signing separately, and only signers. They're not letting family, friends, agents, lenders to come to the closing, okay? And they're keeping them separate. I've even heard things like new pins for each signer, but you get to keep your pen and walk out with it. And then all docs, all the documents, the checks are either couriered or mailed out to the people, and the seller's net gets wired out. So each attorney is going to have their own policy, so that's just some of the things I've heard about going on. Listen, the sea of change can pull customers in many directions, but it's our responsibility as realtors to light the way and take care of you. And if you got any other questions, give me a call. It's Ron Henderson, 843-224-3883. And stay safe out there, please. Thank you.